Okay, good afternoon. I think I'll just spend this time to describe what our organization does because it's an example of South-South cooperation. Well, first, Simyo Inotech is actually an acronym. It's because we have a very long name. The first part, Simyo, it stands for Southeast Asian Ministers of Education Organization. It's an intergovernmental organization which was founded way back in 1965. And it is, in terms of membership, it has a very diverse membership in terms of levels of economic development, levels of educational development, population size, and political systems. For example, one of our members is Singapore. And as we know, Singapore is well, considered already a first world country, and it is, has one of the top performing education systems. On the other end of the spectrum, we have what we consider less developed countries like Timor-Leste, a very small country, Laos, PDR, Cambodia, Myanmar. And then in the middle would be countries like Malaysia, Thailand, Philippines, Indonesia, and Brunei Darussalam. That's why I say it's a very diverse composition. For instance, Indonesia is a very large country, more than 250 million, while we have a small country like Timor-Leste and Brunei Darussalam with just about a million population. But well, Simyo Inotech is one of the regional centers. The Simyo organization has 24 regional centers hosted by the different member countries. And they have a different specialization. By the way, the purpose of Simyo is to promote regional cooperation in education, science, and culture. And that's why it's an example of a South-South cooperation. There are regional centers hosted by the different member countries. Inotech is hosted by the Philippine government. It's a regional center for educational innovation and development. Malaysia hosts the RECSAM, which is on science and mathematics education, as well as a regional center on special education. Singapore hosts the regional language center. Indonesia is hosting the tropical biology center. So what is an example of, well, different regional centers which aim to promote regional cooperation in education. The principle that underlies the operation of Simyo is that no country is so poor that it cannot contribute to or share experiences in education that will be useful to other countries in the region. And no country is so rich or advanced in terms of economic development or educational development that it does not need to learn from the other experiences in the other countries in the region. And that is the principle that guides the work of the Simyo as a regional organization. Talking about well, all of the regional centers are engaged in research, capacity building, and knowledge management. In the specific case of Simyo Inotech, our research programs involve mainly comparative education initiatives. For instance, in the area of ECCD, in the area of disaster risk reduction and management, the area of school health and nutrition. The intention behind this regional comparative education studies is to be able to look at best policies, best practices, programs which can be shared among the member countries of Simyo. We conduct these researches. Some occasions we hold regional fora in the Inotech campus, wherein we invite representatives of the different Simyo member countries to be able to share their respective countries' experiences in the focus of the regional forum. Also, Simyo Inotech being a Center for Educational Innovation and Development, and Technology rather, well, one of our thrusts is on mobile technology for teachers. That's ongoing program which we have been undertaking over the past several years, because we know that mobile technology is really, it's very much available even among teachers in the region, whether a teacher in a less developed country or a developed country, a teacher would have access to a mobile phone. And it's important really to be able to maximize the use of these mobile phones for instance, for the professional development of teachers in terms of assisting them in their effort to enhance their teaching and learning practices. So also the CMEO Innotech is engaged in capacity building programs. Right now we have an ongoing program in the center where we have representatives from the 11 CMEO member countries. And the focus of our programs really is capacity building for school heads and teachers. So the current program that we have right now, we have school heads coming from the different CMEO member countries. And this is a vehicle also for sharing their experiences as school principals in their respective countries. Whenever I talk during the opening ceremonies, I encourage them to be able to maximize really the opportunities for interaction, because it's important really to learn from professionals from other countries in terms of the problems and issues that they face in their respective schools. So this is really a very important learning opportunity, which we hope our participants maximize as they stay in the center for usually about 2 weeks. Also, we have online capacity building programs for school heads and teachers, and we are guided by a competency framework which we develop in consultation and collaboration for the Ministries of Education. For instance, the competency framework for school heads, we have translated this into the different languages of CMEO so that this can be easily used by the Ministries of Education in Southeast Asia to guide them in the design of training programs for school heads and teachers. So this is our way of promoting South-South collaboration within the CMEO region. And I think that over the past, CMEO has been in existence for, more than 50 years. It was established in 1965. And even at that time, for instance, Singapore was a founding member. And at that time, in 1965, as we know, Singapore was just gained its independence. And we know that over the years, it has really progressed. And we believe that it has benefited from the experiences of other countries in Southeast Asia. So I'd just like to end on that note, just to be able to describe a CMEO as a vehicle for South-South cooperation. Thank you very much, and good afternoon.